Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and I welcome you all to my live Let's Play of Rockman for Randomizer, a randomizer designed by Puresabe, who you may recognize as being the creator of Rockman 4 - Infinity. So I already added the seed for this game, I'll be using my own username for it, and begin right now. Where the bosses are located, what weapons you get in the stages, as well as the enemy selection are randomized. So I'll be the first pick. I'll first go after Skullman. And everything else has been sped up. We don't have a boss intro, and dying and resetting is much faster as well. Already you can see some differences. The tiles has been changed, the enemy selection has been changed, we didn't have the ring rings and these roller enemies. Ladder presses from Kozak. Didn't expect to see them here. Please pick the next Roadmaster to go after. Otherwise, everything else is about the same Eggman 4, or rather Rockman 4. There are some other differences which I will show off, assuming I fall into a bottomless pit. I'll go after Ringman next then. Remember, it doesn't matter which stage you go after first, because the Roadmaster at the end will be changed, not to mention the weapon I get at the end. It's a more simplistic randomizer, as the only input I can change is the seed. I can't change the level of randomization, so we won't have crazy stuff like the weapons dealing different amounts of damage. Up and down attackers in the middle of land. At least there's an indicator below there. And I probably want as many E-tanks as I can get. Who knows how difficult some of the later game bosses are going to be. Especially as their weaknesses are also randomized. I've been meaning to play a randomizer for quite a while, hence why I picked this one, as Rockman 4, aka Mega Man 4, is one of my favorite Mega Man Classic games. And at base, it isn't too difficult to complete. All the weapons are pretty useful. So that was Skullman's level. The boss at the end is Toadman. Alright, this is gonna be easy. It seems that he's been made a bit faster though, as he was able to get one shot off. And by defeating Toadman I get the Dust Crusher. Now I'm off to Ringman stage. That's exactly it, Metal General. And because of the randomizer, I gained Dustman's weapon from him. Also, we have rainbow ladder presses now. Also, this platform is broken. And for all those watching, I will edit this down to a shorter Let's Play in post, which will also have better audio balancing. Oh, the Hippo boss. And now we also have Rainbow Dodonpa canyons, mainly because of sprite limitations. And these enemies from Fairman's level. You know, these enemies would be more useful in Brightman's level. One of the changes added into this randomizer is that if you fall into a bottomless pit or hit spikes, you only take 1/3 of your full life bar in terms of damage. Also, random rock falling there. That way it isn't as frustrating if you get knocked into a pit. Hippo Mach 2. That's it, I'm using any tank here. Also in this randomizer, I start with more lives by default. Pretty good, Heavy Elite. Did you see my first episode covering your first 6 levels of your level pack? Can I destroy this enemy? Yes, I can. Probably in a future update, Jedok. At the very least, we have enemies randomized, which we wouldn't expect of this kind of randomizer. That's going to be a bit of an annoying setup. Wish I could have gotten that. Jerkish enemy placement because I can't get past it now without taking a hit. Perhaps when there's an option added by Puresabe in the future to have randomized sprites, that'd be even more fun and chaotic. Right, man. Well, he never uses Bright Stopper here, and by feeding him I gained a Dive Missile and Balloon. The next person said Toadman, so I'm going after him next. Don't he get assaulted by these Scorpion bots from Fairman? Even though it looks like the rain is pushing me to the left, it's actually pushing me to the right. I'll go after Drillman after this then. Eventually I'll aim to test out the Roadmaster weaknesses too, especially against bosses like Dustman and Fairman. Alright, here's another demonstration. If you fall into a bottomless pit, you'll have invulnerability frames activated, and you'll lose 1/3 of your max health per non-invulnerability frames. It's kind of like that upgrade in Minus Infinity. No worries, I start with 5 lives. And as you can see, there's little to no downtime when you die. Of course, that means damage boosting into the pits is a valid strategy here. Welcome to the stream, Kroby. Let's do that again. The only annoying thing is, because of the way the simulator is set up, sliding can be a bit more sensitive than what I'd like. Of course, Picados work the same way as they did in Mega Man 4, being random. They're not consistent as they are in Mega Man 2 and Mega Man Maker. That's one of the annoying aspects of the randomizer, but it's to be expected. Well, not annoying, it's to be expected. Sometimes enemy placements can be on the more jerkish side, especially if you don't have the weapons to deal with them. See, for example, the placement of that Picado, and the placement of these grabbers plus the gachapon. Now with that difficult section done, let's move on. That's one of the innate upgrades added in this game, Kroby. Whenever you fall into the pit, as long as you have more than 1/3 of your max health remaining, you'll get launched out of it. So if you're lower than that, you will die. Of course, that means it's quite exploitable if you combine it with E-tanks. Next time I'm using a Dust Crusher. Oops. This is gonna be a bit annoying. At least it deals extra damage to him. Let's try it again. I didn't see there were spikes down there, I thought it was something else. You mean Dustman? No secret bosses in this game. We have Fairman instead. Okay, I did it in 1 life. This was the easiest part of the stage. And by feeding him, I gained the ring boomerang. Next stop is Drillman, as the viewer requested. Also, every time I start up a new stage, I'm back up to 5 lives. so no need to do game over abusing to get back to full lives. Of note is that the boss AIs have not been changed, perhaps also for a future update. It's a more simplistic randomizer, sure, but at the very least, it's not really on the jerkish side, and the level design has not been changed in the slightest, outside of perhaps the ladder presses. An example, I can take up to 3 hits from those spikes. But unlike with falling into the pit, my invulnerability frames after hitting spikes are lower. Eddie's also been upgraded too to always be good. Still extremely damaging, these are. Whoa. Anyone else having connection issues as Kroby is? Those rocks are falling much faster than I remember them. Maybe your connection, Kroby. Yeah, I knew he was gonna die here. Too low on health. I sure hope the boss isn't too difficult. Wait, Drillman? Okay, non-randomized here. Let's test out weaknesses. No. Yes, he's weak to the Dust Crusher. Almost there. It's a pretty effective weakness. Look how much damage I dealt him with that little amount of ammo. Sadly, he still deflects my shots. And by defeating him, I gained the Rain Flush and Rush Marine. Wish I had that earlier. Who should I go after next? So far, the hardest parts of this randomizer are the stages themselves. The hardest part was Toadman, of course. Yep, he definitely was much cooler. Bearman, alright. Let's see what this stage has to offer. No Scorpion bots. Just these Sprite Man bots, but we have these slimes dropping from the ceiling. And of course, if I destroy them, the screen goes dark. I wish more games gave an option to have your life bar fill up instantaneously, especially in fan games. That really improves the flow of these games. Also reduces the chances of falling into pits or getting hit by random enemies. Pretty much all the bosses in Rockman 4 Minus Infinity were cooler than the original incarnations. Well, here they come, the scorpion bots. They can hit me from below there, that's not exactly fun. At least the checkpoint placement is the same as before. I'm gonna take a deliberate dead over there to get back to full health. I guess dive missile? That works. Not the best placement for these scorpion bots. It's not too bad, especially with all the upgrades I have. Musa Temple, but with less Centaur Man platforms. Nope, weapon ammo is not randomized. Well, I don't think it's randomized. It seems about the same to me. The only things that are randomized are the enemy placements, the boss order, the boss weaknesses, and the tile sets. Dustman. Okay, Rain Flush. At least I hope it's the Rain Flush. You know, this room works better for me than for Dustman, as you can't pull me in as easily. Parashot and Rush Coil. At least you gain one of the special weapons we were supposed to get. Next up is Brightman, according to Buster. Tarmac platforms, I mean, sorry. Skeleton Joe is right over here. Well, I guess they migrated from Skullman's level. There's actually a whole list of randomizer for various games. There's a site that keeps track of all the randomizers. I'll post a link to that in the chat once this LP is done. There is one for Mega Man 2, 3, 4, and I think 5 and 6. None for 7, 8, 9, or 10 yet. Randomizers are really fun, and I've been meaning to play one for quite a while. The reason why I'm starting with this one is because Mega Man 4 at base isn't that difficult, and all the special weapons are pretty good. And to be fair, the amount of randomization here isn't as chaotic. Imagine if the entire stage design was randomized as well, like pieces from one stage are combined with pieces from another level, in addition to special weapons being altered even further. That's the case with the Mega Man 2 randomizer. As it stands right now, it just feels like a modded Mega Man 4 experience. Semi-vanilla. Okay, that's how we get it. No, that's not a feature either. It would be too crazy. That already has some more creative setups with enemy randomization and the weapons being randomized. No Mega Man randomizers so far take parts of one level and combine it with parts of another level. None that I know of so far, at least. Welp. Of course, if I wasn't playing the randomizer, I would have been dead already twice. There we go, much better. It's kind of jerkish placement if you don't know when it's coming up. Time to face off against the next boss. I already know that the Rain Flush is great against the previous boss. Ringman, sorry. Of course, he's immune against his own weapon. Nope, no weaknesses yet. Actually, let me test this out. No, he's weak to the Rain Flush. The previous boss was, I guess, semi-weak to the Rain Flush, as a secondary weakness. Remember, bosses can be weak to the same special weapon. Who should I go after next now? Dive Man or Dust Man? We haven't encountered Dive Man yet, so he may be here. Random rocks falling from nowhere. And remember, your experience may be entirely different if you enter in a different seed. Well, at least there is some indication where these rocks are coming from. I mean, we already had one Roadmaster in their own stage, so that may be possible. But whenever there's this bubble stream, we know there's a rock falling. Okay, I guess some of the mini-boss healths are randomized then. It shouldn't be that easy. I do like some of the palette changes too. Eddie seems to be rather generous today, giving a lot of E-tanks. Time for a part of the stage where the water goes up and down. By the way, we have rain gimmicks now too, pushing us back. I was worried this would happen. Or perhaps it's not a rain gimmick, it may have been in the original level too. It's been a long time since I last played Mega Man 4. It's alright, Metal General. I'm almost done with the Roadmasters. Oops. What about Toadman's stage, Heavy Elite? Didn't that push you back? In any case, that's in the stage. Yep, I think the secret paths have been removed, just in case they aren't rendered impossible. Dive Man, of course he's in the same stage. Let's see if he's weak to the Toad Rain like everyone else is. Not really, but he takes a bit of damage from it. Actually, no, I think it deals a decent amount of damage to him, mainly because of his charged form. Whoever guessed he was actually the boss of his own stage was right. So I gained the Flash Stopper, aka Bright Stopper, and Wire Adapter. Last but not least is Dustman. Depending on this enemy configuration, this may be very easy or a nightmare. You're right, Heavy Elite. I'll have to double check that later. These fly enemies. They're probably gonna be here, so time to equip the Skull Barrier. Just as a fun test, let's see if it works the way it worked. Nope, doesn't protect me against spikes. I was hoping that was one of the changes, but that isn't. Still killed by that fly. There's a reason why they're the more annoying enemies in Mega Man 4, and why they only appear in a few stages. I'll try it the next time when I go to the spikes. Unlike with fan games, at the very least I have access to rewinds. The crusher part of the stage. Yeah, Skullman is the last one with the drill bomb, so it may be easy or difficult depending on how it goes. I should have his weakness by this point, unless his weakness is a drill bomb. That is possible. This section always makes me a bit wary. We may also end up with a situation, as I said earlier, where multiple bosses are weak to the same special weapon, and no boss is weak to one weapon, a particular weapon. I hope that's protected against in this randomizer, but who knows. Right Stopper was a poor choice. Completely immune. This pierces through his barriers. Seems fairly effective too, but this is a secondary weakness in the original game. Dive Missile seems fairly effective, but about just as effective as the Ring Boomerang. Well, I guess his weakness is a Dive Missile then, but I'd rather just use the Ring Boomerang.